Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance. We are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Prescott off play action. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Prescott now. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down. But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. To throw is Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Play action now, Prescott. Connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 29-yard line. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. To the air again, Prescott. The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now Prescott. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Elliott is in. Touchdown, Dallas. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And this first play will get them back to the 25, but that's going to be in. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
From the 41, Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 13-yard line.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And they will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So that if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. But Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there. Zuerlein good with a PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. So the first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
A first down carry by Elliott, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Elliott going to get it again on second down. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On first and 10, Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Now Elliott. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, lived to fight another down, right?
But he's going to be marked down very close to the first down marker, but it looks like he's a yard short. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. So now Dak Prescott off, Greg Zuerlein on for the field goal. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Slings it to Anderson. It's complete. The tight end has it. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
3 yards the gain there, second down. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down. And that is no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. And again, it's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, this from 33. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's going to have a Ravens first down. His good running gets him to about the 44. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Dobbins down to the 25. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. In this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
2nd and 10. Jackson now. He's going deep for Brown. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 87 yards. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. For all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, you know, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, Prescott. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
1st down, Prescott. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd and 7, Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So now Dak Prescott off, Greg Zuerlein on for the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because it nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Ravens can take the lead now if they hit the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think his big boys up front, that offensive line, they've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Prescott looks to throw on first. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From just shy of midfield, Prescott. And that is incomplete here. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
That's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On third down, it's Prescott. Looking deep for Elliott. They've got his man complete. A big connection on that one. 38 yards. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 78 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
On 2nd down, Elliott looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. It's a keeper with Prescott trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Dak Prescott, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead.
Ravens 27.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And out across midfield down to the 45.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Jackson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league, and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, one able to complete it anyway.
And that one off the mark, a little late with a throw.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And his kick is no good. Oh, by the slimmest of margins, he missed it wide to the left. A fourth quarter miss like that, there is no lonelier feeling than that kicker right now.
As we all know, a lot of these games, they come down to special teams. And when that chance comes, you have to perform in order to help your team get over the top.
Could have tied it. Instead, they remain down 3. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Now a throw here to his running back. And some room to roam now. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play that time on the catch and run. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. And they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
91 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Yeah, the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for Baltimore. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. Runs over him. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the